Miss Clara, or is it Clara?
It's Clara. Yeah.
Clara.
That's okay.
Miss Clara.
Yes, I'm excited. I'm very excited.
Are we still doing Claros?
So no, actually, ProActive recovery. So,
okay, so you have rebranded. Yeah, please introduce yourself.
So, my name is Clara. You can find me at This Is Clara, Clara. And I founded ProActive Recovery, which is a brand based off of physical recovery and mindset growth. So I'm a sports massage therapist, but I also expanded the digital brand. So I'm a wellness entrepreneur as well as a speaker as well. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So everything is conducive under one brand.
Yeah.
And then we.
Yeah. No, I love that.
Yeah.
I love
Instead
that.
of having separate, like,
and the funny thing is, I noticed the rebrand, but
Yeah.
I didn't notice the rebrand. Like
Perfect.
it was a smooth transition, right? You just snuck that one right on.
I really did, though. I really did.
You deserve better rebranding.
Amen.
You do. You deserve better rebranding. Like,
okay.
Because some people rebrand and it's abrupt. It's like
it's abrupt and it's too often. Like if you're rebranding, sometimes people just need to do subcategories.
Yeah.
Or like a campaign. Like that's what I love about you is you do campaigns, but it's the same brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's honestly a gift from God, and it's not why we're here, but you know, a conversation is a conversation because you're gonna get those jewels in great, wealthy conversations, especially kingdom conversations,
for sure.
And so, y'all, this is my friend. She is a friend. I don't call everybody friend, but this is my friend. And she is a body care specialist that is amazing. Like if I have questions about my body, I'm gonna ask Clara.
Yes.
I'm black.
You can say
Clara.
You can say Clara. That's fine.
I know you're used to it, which is why you've never corrected me.
No, it's totally fine.
And then I heard your mom say it, and I was.
Oh yeah, you heard the real. Yeah,
no, I heard it. So
ProActive. Yeah, yeah. And the reason I said ProActive, so I need to trademark that too. But
you do.
Where the name ProActive came from is, it's a capital A as well. So so it's ProActive, and then under that, there's ProActive Recovery, which is the sports massage that I do, the body work. There's ProActive Athlete, which is where I can do different packages and stuff like that. And then just that concept of proactive, like when I'm doing speaking or woman empowerment. So the whole idea is proactive means intentional, and that's one of the words that I live by.
Yeah.
But then if you break it down, pro means excellence or ahead of the game, before, and then active means there has to be an action applied. Yeah. Right. So the whole idea of being intentional is like we're doing things with excellence, but we're also being intentional. Instead of reactive, we're proactive. So it works perfect with a health brand. Good. You know what I'm saying? We're proactive about our recovery and health, but then that applies to everything in life. So when I start talking about mindsets and everything like that, we're proactive about it.
No, that's so good. Yeah. And it's good to hear that because while you could make the assumption, to actually hear you say it.
To break it down?
Man, the branding is there. And I love that for us. I do. I really love that for us.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it is when you deserve better.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's so powerful.
Because it started as like a king and queen, you deserve better. Okay. Right? Initially, that was the birth of it, was
crown.
Yes, was the crown. King and queen, you deserve better. And then over the years, what it has morphed into, because I definitely had the thought process of, well, is this politically correct?
Right.
And then I got to the point where it's like, I don't care. Either you're king or you're queen, right? Like, you gotta pick one. You gotta pick one. Not only that, wearing those and then affirming people of the, my family's surname is King.
Really?
Right? So when I would wear the King You Deserve, or when I do wear the King You Deserve Better shirts, I'm speaking to the king in me, but I'm also speaking to the kings that may see my shirt. That's right? Amazing. So it's like when I would have women or men, when I would have them buy the shirts and they're like, well, which one should I get? I'm like, well, who do you want to talk to?
Whoever the message could be,
right.
No,
who do you want to talk to?
It's true.
And I have people that have both, just like I have both, right? Because some days you want to talk to the queens and let them know that they deserve better. And then some day I want to be very clear with the men out here that you deserve better. So
I need you to act like
it. That's it. Like,
I need you to make decisions like you deserve.
I need you to. if you see me at the gas station, I need you to know that you deserve better. And I need you to know that I walk with a different level of accountability.
Yes.
Don't be lusting.
That's the one. Right.
Get your mind right.
Absolutely.
Get your mind right.
Absolutely.
It's just a body. This is a vessel. Right.
All right.
So that happened yesterday, actually.
Really? Okay. So
not to me. It happened to somebody else, and I was on the phone with them.
Okay.
And they were like, "So do you believe in God? Do you believe in Jesus?" Mm-hmm. And they said, "Yes, ma'am." And she was like, "Okay, we'll act accordingly." Don't be looking at my butt when I walk away. It was hilarious. All right, well, let's flow into this. So this, y'all, is going to be the first installation of a You Deserve Better interview series where I am interviewing different professionals, different people, really, not just professionals. Mm-hmm. So different people. We're kicking off a Mother's Day campaign. Woo-hoo. So Clara is a mother.
Toddler mom.
Yes. Right, toddler mom. She did my prenatal massages, yes. And in the midst of doing my prenatal massages in that journey,
sis passed the baton.
I did.
Something in the water.
We transitioned it. So yes, this campaign is going to be full. It's going to be meaty. It's going to encompass a lot, and I pray that God absolutely gets the message that people need to hear out to them, because the encouragement is there. And that's the whole point of You Deserve Better, is to encourage you to not just live a better life, but to, in your head, know that you do deserve better, so that it translates from your head to your actions. Yes. And then what that looks like is it starts to be fruitful in life, right? Yeah. And that's just what you walk in. Like, you wake up and you're like, okay, well, how can I be better today? And it's not taxing, right? It's not like you're not having a panic attack or an anxiety attack trying to be better. You just are. Yeah. Right? Like you're striving for better. Mm-hmm. You know that your footsteps are ordained by God. Yeah. And wherever you go in the day, that's where I'm supposed to be. Right. No matter how us in our humanity, because we're human, right? Mm-hmm. So we think you're supposed to do this, and this in the day. Like, we have our to-do list. Yeah. And then the day can be completely different than what you thought it was gonna be.
It can, but it doesn't have to affect like what you feel like you deserve. Right. You know what I mean? So even if a day starts to go a different direction because you know who you are, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what I love about the phrase "You deserve better," because I think it exemplifies the concept that, like, when you know you deserve better, when you know your worth, your actions reflect, right? Absolutely. So even if external circumstances start changing what you feel like you deserve in life, or maybe the course of the day that you felt like was going to happen, it doesn't affect your perspective on yourself. It doesn't affect like your outlook on, I don't deserve this, right? Or you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And so you're able to still keep your same standards of peace throughout the day, and your own boundaries of peace, because you know what, this isn't exactly what I intended, but at the end of the day, my internal locus of control is still intact.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and so I will piggyback on that in just a second, but I want to finish this introduction because it feels like the longest introduction ever. Yes. Which is not the worst thing in the world. So this is going to be the first installation of this series, and today's theme is You Deserve Better Body Care. Because ProActive Body Care, she's the body care queen. The body care queen, and I love that for us.
And I am no
and it is. So we'll jump into it to piggyback off of that mindset, though. Yeah. Of no matter how the day goes, you deserve better. Mm-hmm. One thing that I try to do is, at this point, because I wasn't always like this, right? All right. But stay centered on the Bible and what the Bible says. Because if I'm looking at the Bible as kind of a guide, a rule book, if I keep my mind stayed on that versus on what everybody else is telling me, when everybody else don't really live the life that I want to live, they're not living the better life that I want to live, right? the gift that God gave in terms of you deserve better is Isaiah 55:8-9, which essentially says, my ways are higher than your ways. My thoughts are higher than your thoughts. So if you think about it from that perspective, right? God is always going to want better for you than you could ever want for yourself.
Than you could ever think is possible for yourself.
At all. Like, and then that trickles into the thought process of our ceiling, our glass ceiling of the best, the betterest, the whatever is the most extravagant way of life that we could want to live for ourselves, right? That we could want for ourselves and our future generations. Because you start to talk about generational wealth, right?
Yeah.
That's his footstool.
It's nothing. It ain't nothing but a thing.
That is his footstool. So when you think about that, it's like,
my ceiling is his footstool.
Yeah, I'm doing all this work.
And it's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning. Yeah.
Love it.
That's it. So
I love that.
I know.
It's so powerful.
It's really God. And that's why I say it's a gift, because when I first started this brand, I wasn't in my Bible the way that I am now. And that's just full transparency. I was fresh out of an 8-year bid.
They gonna get it. They gonna catch it.
I was out of an 8-year bid, and I was trying to figure out who I was in my late 20s.
Yeah.
I had spent all this time with someone that I thought I was going to build life with, and then I had to dismantle it. I had to tear it all down, because foundation is rocky. When you build on a rocky foundation, the structure is even rockier. It's terrible. So I wasn't there, but the gift of God
totally
has got me to that place. And so that marriage has happened where we can rely that this brand is rooted in scripture.
Totally.
So with it being rooted in scripture, right? No fat back Christians. That's a clip. God has been dealing with me about that. Like, being obese in church is like, if your body is a temple, and I'm talking to myself, I'm in the gym, I'm back finally. But if your body is a temple, you need to treat it as such. And we take God for granted in that facet of treating our bodies like they're a temple. So we've kind of already talked about this, but I am going to formally ask you, when I say you deserve better, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, when you say the phrase "you deserve better," there's both the identity concept of it, or the ideology of who are you, right? And who are you becoming, right? Because sometimes who we are right now is more so dependent on our environment, or even things we believe, your personality. Maybe it's based off of our childhood. So even when you think about health habits, and when you think about just becoming healthier and taking care of your body better, a lot of times what you believe that looks like is constructed from what you saw as a child, right? So if you are always used to people talking about pain as a regular thing, you believe that that's what you deserve in life. And that's just what happens. As soon as I hit 20s, 30s, 40s, I'm gonna just live with pain, and I'm gonna be that auntie that's always complaining about her back.
So true.
That's like what you've ingrained into your head, right? So I think a lot of it is deconstructing maybe what you believe you deserve from a young age. So maybe people have conditioned you to think you deserve something based off of the way that they treated you, or the way that they've raised you in that. But then there's also the component of who are you becoming, right? So in this this best version of myself, what does that person live on and live by? Right? So when I think about you deserve better, it's not coming out of a place of striving, like I got to get better every single day. It's more so I'm so passionate about who I'm becoming that where I'm at right now, what I'm doing, my habits has got to start aligning with that. You know what I mean? So I'm not over here legalistic with myself, putting all these rules, but instead I value it so much. I value that destiny so much that I'm willing to change things now in order to get there. So it's coming out of a place of passion. It's coming out of a place of of growth, like a deep burning desire for growth. It's not out of this pressure that's hanging over my head.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's where sometimes, you know, we are in a culture where everybody's talking about self-development. And I think if you don't understand, like, if you don't know your identity, if you don't know who you're supposed to become, if you don't know who you're supposed to impact,
right,
you're going to just be thinking like this, there's this immense pressure and you're not going to be able to reach it. You're not going to be able to reach the mark. And maybe you weren't even designed to. But the point is, like, what are you doing with your habits? What are you doing with the waking hours of the day? What are you doing with the 24 hours of the day that you have to become better, to align your life with you deserving better? So that's more so the what I think of it. You know what I mean?
That's good.
It's I deserve better in the sense that, like, even the sense of everything about me and connected to me is going to become better as a result of my belief system.
Yeah.
So when I think of you deserve better, the ultimate thing that I think of is belief system. Because what you believe, you're going to start shaping your thoughts about and your actions and your words and your behaviors.
Yep.
So if you want to see what somebody believes they deserve in life, look at their belief system, right? And look about their actions, because it's going to tell you exactly the level of life that they think they should live on. Yeah.
That is so good.
And same with health. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking because God is so intentional.
Yeah.
Because that was where I was. I had to shift my paradigm. Like I had to shift the whole paradigm of.
You know, I love me a good paradigm shift. I love a paradigm shift.
And a paradigm shift at 28, it's not easy. But a paradigm shift, honestly, a paradigm shift at any age is not easy.
Never.
And it's actually, now that I'm the age that I am, it's actually easier to shift your paradigm when you're younger, when you're not so rooted and like feet dug in.
Yeah. To that point though, and I think it was one of the questions as well, it was like, you know, with you deserve better, like what does it mean in terms of body care, in terms of how you take care of your health? And I think I tell this to the athletes that I work with a lot as well. Like, I can tell what you believe you deserve in life by your perspective of your body, right? And so, you know, a lot of the people that I work with, they push themselves to the max. They sacrifice blood, sweat, and tears. And the whole concept that I try to introduce to them is like, if you're going to be sacrificing so much for this thing that you love, that you're passionate about, why not also invest the same level of intensity into recovering, so that everything you're pouring out, you're also getting poured into. But if you don't believe that you should be poured into as much as you're pouring out, paradigm shift, like, that tells me everything about what you believe you deserve in life. And there's so many people, so many of us, that think that we have to constantly pour out until we're burnt out, and then we're going to start looking at recovery, then we're going to take a break. But this is something that I think is so powerful. There's something about this give and take of I'm pouring out and I'm getting poured back into. If you don't stay consistent with that, you'll start to atrophy your skills. So for me, that applies even as a businesswoman, right? It applies, you know, as a mother. It applies as when I'm working with people, when I'm speaking life into people. The reason I have to stay so consistent with a regimen and with habits of pouring into myself, getting fueled, getting poured into as much as I pour out, is because if I'm not consistent, I start to atrophy. And when things atrophy, you burn out. There's a difference between rest and atrophy. So atrophy means, like, for example, with muscle, like when it's not used, you use it or lose it. So now it doesn't have the size, it doesn't have the capacity that it used to, it doesn't have the strength that it used to, it doesn't have the endurance that it used to, because you stopped using it, you got inconsistent. So like being consistent, like we think this phrase "you deserve better" is something that's just occasional, or it's just like a nice little cliche. But to me, when you deserve better, you create a regimen and habits that are going to reflect what you deserve in life. So the reason I got to stay so consistent with that regimen and so consistent with this correct mindset is because I know that that consistency is going to prevent me from atrophying. And so if I burn out as a mother, if I burn out as a businesswoman, etc., all the roles that I play, if I burn out, now I'm going to risk atrophy. And if I had just started with resting, I wouldn't be risking that.
One more time for the people.
You know what I mean?
One more time.
If I had learned to rest instead of burning out, then I wouldn't be risking atrophy. And I think it's so important, like, because I know we were doing this as a Mother's Day rollout. Yeah. I was thinking how many mothers need to understand the difference between rest and burnout atrophy. And then you wonder, well, like, wow, I feel like I don't have the skills I used to. I feel like I don't have the focus I used to. If you are not like practicing consistency, or if you're not practicing creativity in whatever capacity that means, you might have to modify some things as a mother. You might have to adjust some things. Life is not going to look the way it used to. Your body's not going to look the way it used to. But if you at least learn how to pivot, you can stay consistent, and then you're not going to risk that burnout and atrophy. So then you can get those skills back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can get that focus back. You can get that creativity back. Yeah, so that's real good.
So that we can roll into what does that look like, right? Especially one as a new mom, or even for a mom that it maybe not be a new mom, but be the primary parent. Like, and I feel like even if you're not the primary parent, motherhood in general is a full-time job.
Absolutely.
It's a full-time job. So, and it's not a job that you can quit. Nope. I mean, you can, but
sick days, but not really sick days. Like, yeah.
And you can't quit being a parent. Now people gonna look at you like you're crazy, but I mean,
it happens.
It does. I'm not gonna say it doesn't happen, but your babies deserve better.
They do,
right?
They do.
So with us knowing that our babies deserve better, because that is something that is kind of ingrained in most women,
for sure.
How do you show up for your children and show up for yourself? Not just from the jump. And that's, I mean, it is kind of two different conversations, because if you have support, there's one way to do it.
Sure.
But if you don't have support, it's like, how do you pivot? How do you figure this out? What does that look like? So you can take that, and wherever you want to take it to, like whatever perspective you want to give it from, absolutely, let's welcome that.
So as a mother, how do you show up for this child, but then also show up for yourself? Right? I think one word that we do have to readjust our lens on is balance. So sometimes we think of the word balance and we connect it to this idea that we can just have everything on a plate all at the same time. And the truth is you can't, or you shouldn't. Like, it's not sustainable.
Okay.
So it's not sustainable that every single day you're going to get self-care in. Every single day you're going to get a nap in, or every single day you're going to be able to be boss mom and knock all the things off the list, right? That's simply not realistic. And so I think sometimes you have to adjust your lens on, like, what does my balance look like? Sometimes it's, okay, I've got one weekend out of a month. I've got one weekend out of a quarter where I can refill my tank. Or sometimes it's, I've got 5 minutes in a day to myself.
So it's like scheduling
it. I think you have to schedule it. I think you have to schedule, and you have to look at your calendar. When am I showing up for myself?
Which goes back to having a routine.
Regimen. It's so needed. And I think that's the biggest thing that moms struggle to figure out, right? What is my routine look like?
It's me. Hi.
No, it's okay though. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. And I think so, for example, I almost felt like it was a testing point, not even for myself, but for other people looking at me. Is she still gonna work out when she got this kid? Is she, once she was working out in pregnancy, she was training. I seen her with that barbell during pregnancy, but what about after the kid? And I had to, like, obviously learn that routine. But then what I realized is that when I do take that time to get my training in, not only is my cognitive ability better throughout the day, it's also my time where I got my notes out, my spreadsheets. I'm working on business stuff in between sets because my brain is firing and I'm by myself. Like, I promise you, people look at my phone and they're like, what is she doing? Business.
No, legit. That was me last night, which is wild, because I did the questions like at the beginning of my workout. I did the questions, and now that I'm back working out, because I'm gonna be honest, as a primary parent, motherhood was like, it was weighty.
Yeah, like, so your cognitive ability gets better, right? And then the thing is too, like, you have that one little hour, the 1 hour, the 2 hours to yourself. Now you have like a tank that is full.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You automatically have more energy. You have more endorphins. So now the rest of your day, there's more of like a full tank to serve your child, because you're serving your kids. Like, I think if you don't have the mind that I'm serving my child, like, it becomes more of a task. Like we said, it's a job. And so you have to think of it as like, I am servicing this child to the best of my ability. And there's a reciprocity. They love you. They tell you. You know what I mean? There's a joy with it for sure. But I think when you do that, when you start your day strong, when you figure out your routine, you know, what does even their playtimes look like, right? Like, when are we going outside for baby girl to get it together? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? That helps us start to stay strong and keep it moving. And that way, if I don't get nothing else done during the day, I've got something, you know what I mean? To where I don't feel like the day is a wash. And I think that's something too, like, if you've done nothing else other than raise a child for an entire day, you have still done a lot. You have still been productive. But it is hard to accept that.
Okay? No, it is hard to accept
it's very hard to accept that.
Once you accept that, the amount of grace that you can give yourself is it's up here. It's like I got to the point where I'm like, God, are you pleased with the fact that all I had the capacity to do today was be somebody's mama? That's it. That's all I had the capacity to do. Especially when you're fresh.
Yeah.
I've breastfed. Listen, we made it to almost 30 months.
That's pretty good.
And in those 30 months, like, I know a lot of people stop after a year, right? So once I got to past the year, and then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to get back out there. Like, I'm ready, but I am tired. Like the breastfeeding journey takes it out of you. And so now that we're on the other side of that, it's like, okay, I see a different light. And I hear you when you say about the routines, right? I am realizing the importance and the advantages to working out in the morning. However, just to offer some perspective, as a mama, you don't always, like, from my, you know, situation, like yesterday, working out in the morning wasn't a thing. It wasn't possible. However, at midnight last night, I was getting it in the middle of the floor with laundry all around me. Like, legit, I did probably 10 loads of laundry, and they were half of them. I air dry my clothes, so half of them are being air dry
in process.
Right. So I got laundry all around me. I did not finish that workout until 1 a.m. I fell asleep in my last set.
Wow.
The last workout was scissors. So on the third or fourth set out of 5 in my break, I legit fell asleep in the middle.
You need a nap today. That's what that's giving.
I probably do.
I love the transparency.
Yeah, I probably do. But
I love it.
I mean, that speaks to, like, in motherhood, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. And so
and also evening workouts too. Sometimes it's good because sometimes by the time, as a mom, by the time you get to 6 p.m., you are done, and hold up, this child gonna be up till 9 or 10 or whatever, you know, whatever your bedtime is. And you're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and take a quick little break. And you're gonna play, and you know, we're gonna do this together, and so you gotta make it work.
That's kind of how my life is. It's like, we just gotta get it in. Like, I'm realizing the importance, and I do see the difference in the productivity of my day
for sure
when I do work out in the morning. But even this morning, right, getting up, I woke up feeling productive.
Ain't that crazy?
It was wild. Like,
I know some people sleep better too. Most people sleep better too. If they do the night workouts, you be out.
Like a child. I slept like a baby. So we're gonna switch gears a little bit, right?
Let's do it.
What role does God play in your life to keep you pushing for a better version of yourself each day? Like,
100%. What role does God play? God really does have to be the center of my life, right? This is the thing. When I talk about this, I'm talking about a God that I know, right? So I'm not saying just like an abstract idea of God. Like, people will say God and like not really know who they're talking about, or they'll talk against God and not know who they're talking about,
like,
right?
So in the sky.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, when I talk about this, like, I'm talking like I know him, right? So I do not try to be better to get God's approval. I don't seek God's approval. I seek his heart. So when I'm working at becoming better, it's not like I'm striving to be better to impress God, because everything that he did already for me is the basis that I go off of. So, you know, when Jesus said it is finished and it is done, And according to the word, like they look on me as he looks on me as the righteousness of God, right? I'm not striving to become better because I'm trying to get God's approval. He's already approved me through the blood of Jesus, right? Because of that, and because I seek his heart, I want to do everything that I can to be better, because the more I get to know him, the more I know his heart. So I want what I do, what I say, how I live to align with his heart for me and towards me. So God's heart is that he gets the glory.
Yeah.
And the more I know his heart, I know what glorifies him, and I learn that more. And I also learn what hurts his heart, right? So there are certain things that maybe it's not like, oh, is this good for me? Is this bad for me? It's more so like, what is God's heart concerning that? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so the more I get to know God, the more my actions have to change and adjust, because now I'm learning what are his thoughts towards me. They're higher. What are his intentions for me? They're better, right? What are his plans for me? Bigger than anything I can imagine. And so for me, the more also that I understand the just for my life, the more I understand the amount of impact that I'm supposed to leave on this earth. When I start seeing, the thousands of people that I've already like impacted, and that's just a sliver of who I will impact before I leave this earth, it makes me think like, no, it starts now. And that's one of those things where because I know who God is and I'm learning more about him every single day, I don't believe that I have the option to just wait around and magically become better. I got to be intentional about it now. For me, this isn't a passive thing. You know what I'm saying? And I understand, I think for a lot of people, there is this idea that you're just going to progressively get better in life.
Yeah.
But I beg to differ, because there's people that get more bitter in life, and there's people that get crustier in life, and there's people that get, you know what I'm saying?
Walking in here raggedy and dusty.
Carry more they pile on more baggage in life.
And you know what I'm saying? Unpack it.
And so instead of releasing things from season to season, they just keep piling on baggage and baggage. So I don't believe that you just magically mature in life. You don't.
You're driving around looking like you in a clown car with a bunch of bags on the top.
Clown. Like, it's really clown activity. It's very much clown activity.
It is. It and really that's is. Crazy that because you get a bag for everything.
Yeah.
Everything comes with a bag. And if you never unpack it, which is a whole different conversation.
Facts. But you're piling it on.
You pile it on, and you end up looking like you were in a circus in a clown car with all these bags piled and piled and piled on top, and now you're looking like you in a cartoon. Like,
yes.
Oh,
so
rich.
With that, I think like the intensity of God's love, right? The intensity of the character of God, like the nature of even the things that are in the word, like the word that is over me, the word that is fueling me, the word that is feeding me. Whenever I read it, there's something fresh.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be a prompt to become better. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because every time I open that word, I literally read Proverbs every single month, right? Every single month, I'm discovering something new in there. You know what? I am not wise in this way. Like, you know what I mean? There's always an opportunity to become better.
It's like a two-step verification.
Okay.
System. Like you're always verifying.
That thing going to verify.
I just saw a meme that said, this is me anytime I read Proverbs, and it's a hand coming out the Bible smacking you in the face because,
Facts.
Ooh, talk about a self-check. Thank you, God.
Okay.
But ouch. Like you in my business.
Absolutely in the business.
You are in my business.
Absolutely.
And it's necessary.
It is.
It's so necessary for God to be in our business. But
yeah.
And you want God to be in your business. Because if he's not in your business,
he didn't really love
first
me like
of all,
he's
in your business anyway. Right?
Right.
But if you acknowledge that he's in your business, then you allow him to be
Invite him in.
Yeah. Because he's not intrusive.
He's not. But he loves me so much that when I invite him in, he's going to step all the way into my business. Like, I'm like, okay, you can step on my toes. He said, all right, bet.
But he's going to get you right.
And he's going to get me right. It's like, if it says he's the potter, we are the clay, right? Like, when I ask God to chisel me, right? And I say, okay, go ahead and reshape me, remold me, remake me. Go ahead and renew my mind. Go ahead and transform me. Yeah. Go ahead and, like, if I look up this time the next year and I have not changed at all, that's an issue for me, right? Why? Because God is the potter and I'm the clay. So you're telling me he hasn't done any pottery work in a year? I haven't grown at all in a year? Right. That's not okay. And that doesn't sound like God, who is the potter, right? So that means something about my perspective of who he is off. If I think that I don't need to change, if I think that I don't need to walk more and deserving better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like when I invite him in to be the potter to my clay, and then he starts actually chiseling, he starts actually rubbing things off, he starts actually changing the shape of some things. I got to be okay with the shape of Clara's life changing. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because that's what I asked for, and that's what I want. So,
right. And he gonna he will give you the desires of your heart.
He will.
And the reason why he will give you the desires of your heart is because he gave you the desires of your heart.
He put it in there in the first place.
Yeah. So if he put it in there, why would he not there give you?
Yeah. He's gonna walk it all the way through. All the way through.
Not a God that he shall lie.
Yep.
I have not seen God be a liar.
Not
for
one
me.
Time.
Not once. Time. Not as long as I've been living under the shadow. Now, when I was out there, it was on pause. It was parked like a Cadillac on four flats. Like your destiny's still there, right?
Yeah. But you don't always gotta you gotta make a decision to walk in.
You absolutely have to make a decision because if you're gonna teeter totter in, it's like that's when we find ourselves going one step forward and 4 steps back. Because you're essentially falling. Like you're falling on your own. This has nothing to do with God. Nothing. Now God will allow you to fall. Yeah. He's not an intrusive man.
No, not at all.
He ain't gonna be in your business if you don't, Yeah. But he will allow it to happen. He will.
Yep.
All right. So we kind of talked about the post-pregnancy body care. Mm-hmm. But specifically, what is something like, what's a actionable something, especially whether it be in the body care field or getting up and moving around? What's something that a new mom can do as she's preparing to get back into movement or get into movement if maybe she wasn't a mover before, because not everybody works out before they have a baby, right? But if this is a journey that she's like, okay, my body is not what it was before I had a child, and now I know I need to get in the gym or I need to move around. What's something that is attainable that they can start doing now?
I'd say 2 things, right? Number 1, I'm always going to attack that mindset first. Okay. Number 1, you're probably already in the space where you are grieving who you used to be. That grief is necessary. So first thing is change your mindset about what going back looks like. Anytime in life, period, anytime in life that you want to go back to who you used to be, you got to adjust that, because why do you want to go back instead of paving a new road? So the thing that I want to tell you first is don't say I'm getting back on track. Instead, I want you to say I'm paving a new road. Don't get back on track, pave a new road. Okay?
Get better. Don't get back, get better.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because you'll never be the same.
You'll never be the same. And I think you're always, the more you have that conflict of like, I used to weigh this much, I used to look this way, I used to feel this way. Become better. The human body is amazing.
Listen, them hips is not gonna go back.
Okay. Okay.
It don't matter whether you had C-section, VBAC.
You have done everything.
That baby sat there.
It did. And did. I work with people all the time who literally transform their bodies. You will be shocked at what your body can transform into. You saw your body change over 9 months, right? Believe that you have the same power and ability to transform your body in a whole nother 9 months, but you got to be dedicated, right? So give yourself grace, but I think be clear with what your intentions are. So I would say that's like number 1. Don't try to get back on track. Stop saying that over yourself, because I need you to get it out of your brain. Instead, say, I am paving a new road for myself. Okay. Number 2, identify what it is that you want. Okay. And identify, is it really just I want to lose weight, or is I want to look in this dress better? Is it I want my face to look like this? I want what is it that you want? The more clarity you can get on that, the faster you're going to be able to identify it. Most of it, the third thing, which is going to be the most actionable, is get your diet together. Okay. Get your nutrition together. So sign up for the class, right? Go walking outside, do all those things that consume time. But you've got to start logging what you eat, You got to start looking at it. If you need to get somebody that's just going to get your nutrition together, do that. That's going to be the most important thing, because that affects how you think. It affects how you feel. It affects your energy levels. You, as a new mom, you have no business going into a gym, doing all this, and then you don't eat anything for the rest of the day.
You in my business.
Oh, well.
You in my business. She in my business right now. But that's fine, because I need
We're
her
here.
to be in my business.
We might as well just.
I do. I need her to be in my business, because who didn't eat until after I worked out last night is me. And y'all heard me say I didn't work out till midnight. So now, granted, I only ate protein, so
you can't be
so bad.
You can't be the best version of yourself and raise a child, and you don't eat.
Yeah.
And most problems with new moms is they don't eat enough. Isn't that crazy? You think that, like, oh my gosh, I'm eating too much, I'm fat. No, your body can't burn fat because it thinks that you're starving. It thinks that you're in survival mode. You are telling yourself, you're telling your body, hey, I'm in survival mode. I'm just keeping this baby alive. And so your body's like, okay, bet, let's keep the fat on, because we don't know when we're going to eat next. Right. No, you need to be eating 5-6 meals a day.
AKA, hey mom, self-care actually looks like food prep. Absolutely. It doesn't always look like, if you don't do taking a long bath and getting a massage and going out the house. Like, yes, those are all elements of self-care. But self-care is actually getting the proper nutrition. When you know exactly what you're going to eat for the next 5 days, not only does it take so much off your mental plate, but it literally like programs your body to success. It's like clockwork. You start burning fat, you start building muscle, you start thinking better, you start having like sustainable, normal energy levels. I don't care how much you're sleeping or not sleeping. If you're eating this, if you know exactly what you're going to eat for 5 days straight, because you've meal prepped, you've planned, you've got a program in place, you are going to get better. You got a routine. You are going to. You got a food routine. You have to. If you don't do anything else, like she said, you know, you can be doing all the self-care items. You can go on the retreat, the mommy and me, whatever. But if you're coming back to confusion, your body's not going to just like, we're better now. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to do that. So you have to literally, this is what I need people to understand. I don't care if you just had a baby 2 years ago, whatever the case may be. You program your body. Your body is never working against you. Get that out of your head right now. Your body is not working against you. So stop looking at it like, I don't know what my body's doing. My body is just, no, your body is doing exactly what you program it to do. So whether you're 2 months post pregnancy, yes, 2 years post pregnancy, or 10 years post pregnancy, the solution is the same. It's the same. You have to reprogram your body. You have to reprogram your body, and you can. You have that ability, like you really do. And I think sometimes we have so much else on our plate when we're learning motherhood, and so it's hard to do that. But I really think if, you know, when people are like, oh, can we bring meals or something? Hey, sponsor me a meal prep or meal plan for a week or so. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or like just that stuff. It just, I know for me, it takes the mental load off. It takes the stressor of what am I going to feed me? What am I going to feed my child? What am I going to feed my household, etc. Because I know exactly what I'm going to feed them, you know? And so I think that's a huge thing. Yeah. So, yeah. What is it? That last, when you're about to have a baby, what's that called? When you're getting stuff together. Oh, nesting. The nesting Love party. Nesting. So, like, if you are pregnant, right, and you are trying to figure out what that's gonna look like when baby gets here, I highly, highly, highly recommend having a nesting party. If you have people around you, if you have people asking, hey, what can I do for you? Let me know if you need anything. As a matter of fact, I do. Plan you a little nesting party. That way people can help you put stuff together. You can give them tasks to do, like what you need done, so you're not putting all of that burden on yourself. Yeah. And you can dump meals. Dump meals are a thing. So you know what it does. So dump meals is you put everything in a large gallon Ziploc bag, you put it in the freezer, and then when you're ready to eat, you pop it in either a pressure cooker or a crock pot. And then boom. And then food is done. Yep. Right? Hey y'all, thank you so much for tuning in to this edition of You Deserve Better Body Care with Clara of ProActive Recovery. We thank her for coming on and spreading her knowledge and dropping those nuggets. Our outro is in the wind, so hopefully and maybe this means we'll get a part 2, because there's so much more wealth within her that is just ready to be shared. And so if you found this helpful, let us know. Have a great one.